This is a test of whether Canada works as a country. Because if we can't build with collaboration of the federal government and between provinces, if it's everybody gets to get their products going to market except Alberta, that's not a country. A country is one where we support each other. And I think Canadians are there, and I hope that we can get more and more politicians to get there too.
The challenge that I have is that this proposal from the Alberta Premier for taxpayers to do this work comes at the expense of real private sector projects that are going to lift our economy and lift the national economy, and for no apparent reason other than one can only assume politics. And so all I can say is let's stay focused on real projects.
CTV's senior political correspondent Vassy Kapelos joins us now. So Vassy, if BC is not on board, what happens to Alberta's plan?
Well, I think it becomes a huge headache for the federal government from a political perspective, Marcia, because ultimately, if this does end up making its way to the feds to make a decision whether or not it goes on that mid-November major projects list, they're going to have to decide or try and navigate what is a very apparent cleavage by way of the clips that you just posed. I think there are a couple of things that emerge from this. I think that the Alberta Premier Danielle Smith would hope that the province's backing actually is able to push it forward through BC, that they will do a lot of consultation with First Nations groups who are opposed and things like that in order to get the government in BC on board. But if you listen closely to Premier Eby, it certainly doesn't sound like, even if there were a private proponent, that he is necessarily gung-ho, and that's based largely on the experience of Northern Gateway, where there was a ton of environmental and First Nations opposition to that pipeline. This would essentially be kind of like a repeat of that. So both premiers seem fairly stuck in their positions, which makes it a big political headache for the feds, Marcia.